So if you were to ask me what my favorite foldable device is, ironically enough, I'd probably say the Z Flip. It's the smallest, most convenient foldable device out of the bunch by far. But there's definitely something missing. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Let's figure it out. Okay, so in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and how it actually differs from the Galaxy Z Flip 4. I was an avid enthusiast for the Galaxy Z Flip, but unfortunately I had to end the relationship quite early. Basically, I traded it in for the S23 Ultra, and if you don't know why, you can scroll my timeline. I'm not gonna say much here, but I'm still enthusiastic and optimistic about the Z Flip line, which is why we have the Z Flip 5. So I'm gonna tell you exactly how it differs from the Z Flip 4. You know, at first glance, obviously there's a big change that we all know, but generally if you look at everything in the lineup, not much has changed, but much has changed. So let's just explain that in detail. Now, when it comes to build and design, it has the exact same weight as the previous model. It's probably a reason why, because not much changed in the battery compartment as well. It's the same 3700 milliamp hour battery. Okay, new hinge design. So I'll say this, closing the hinge, like you can feel it. There's a nice smoothness to it this time. It has confidence. There's a confidence in the way that it closes and the way it completes the cycle. It's interesting. It's hard to explain and put into words, but you can tell the hinge is definitely different from last year, and it's not the same. So that's a big design change in between the Z Flip 4 and Z Flip 5, and the one that I'm highly excited about. It's not the one that I'm most excited about, because obviously we have this front display panel. Now we're gonna break it down a little bit more further on in this video, but let's get into a couple other things. The Z Flip 5 has the exact same IPX8 rating. Now again, this is water resistance, not dust. So dust is the enemy of the Flip and the foldable devices. And I think that the Z Flip is the actual foldable phone that'll get the average everyday user to actually convert or consider a foldable device, because hey, it's like a typical phone that I can fold in half and make a lot smaller. It's pretty light, you know, in comparison to other foldables, which are larger, which kind of have that tablet. I'm making a video explaining what it's exactly like to own a foldable phone. So subscribe and turn on the bell for that. And it's in a practical sense, a user experience, real world sense, and not so much just sitting around talking about technical specs and opinions. Nah, it's just real usage. So when it comes to the inner OLED panel, it's practically the same 6.7 inch 1080p Full HD Plus AMOLED 2X, except this one's brighter, coming in at 1750 nits of peak brightness. So basically visibility for this OLED panel has gotten better. And it's a 1080 by 2640 with a 425 PPI pixel density. So it's a nice OLED panel with very nice clarity, but I do wish that it would upgrade into a Quad HD 1440p panel. I want an S23 Ultra that folds, but like as close to this form factor, if that makes sense. Now, when you fold this down, we get into this new Super AMOLED, larger front cover OLED panel. Now this is beautiful, baby. For my tech nerds out there, this is coming in at 720 by 748 with a 306 PPI pixel density. So it's not as clear and as crisp and as sharp as the internal inner display, but it's gonna give you what you need to actually have functionality on the outer panel. I'll talk more about this cover panel and the true functionality that it actually has in the review, so stay tuned for that. You already know what to do. Subscribe, hit that bell. So another big change this now has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which did wonders for the S23 Ultra, but I'm not so sure if that's gonna translate into the Z Flip 5. I think there was just better cooperation in between Samsung and Snapdragon for the S23 Ultra. I don't know if the same collaboration happened with the Z Flip 5. More on that soon in the review. Okay, another change with the Z Flip 5 that differs from the Z Flip 4 is the GPU. Well, we got the Adreno 750 this year versus the Adreno 740 of last year. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the storage upgrade. Not only is the base model only coming in at 256 and there's no more 128 gigabyte offering, but the technology behind that has improved as well, because we have the UFS 4.0 versus the UFF, I think it was a 3.1 technology for storage on the previous model. And if you guys know about Samsung storage, you know every year is phenomenal. It just gets better and better. Same RAM, 8 gigabytes of RAM, yeah, along with that same battery. And unfortunately, with the Z Flip 5 coming from the Z Flip 4, it is the exact same camera hardware. Same outer camera, same internal camera. And that's disappointing for me because I have gripes with Samsung's camera. And it's not so much the physical, you know what, at this point I can't tell you what it is, because the plus side is the Z Flip 5 is going to process images and video differently than the Z Flip 4, because all of the internals, the new chip, the new GPU, and that all affects the image processing. Theoretically should be better image processing, but until I think Samsung like actually addresses their camera app like the way that Google did theirs, I don't know. We'll see a difference. I put up some, you know, samples on the screen. Y'all let me know. You let me know. Because this camera right here that I'm shooting on, it gets the skin tones. All right, a few more small, minor things. Wi-Fi 6E available on the Z Flip 5 versus just Wi-Fi 6 on the Z Flip 4. Bluetooth 5.3 on the Z Flip 5 versus Bluetooth 5.2 on the Z Flip 4. Yeah. And believe it or not, the USB port on the previous Z Flip 4 was USB Type-C, USB 2.0. What? But this year they came correct with a USB Type-C 3.2. So that leads me into the conversation. What I really want to talk about is how does Samsung actually perceive the Z Flip in the lineups? You know, I really feel like Samsung's putting more like focus and heart and passion into the Z Fold versus the Z Flip. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a cute phone versus like it being like the sauce. Me personally, I would love to see a Z Flip Ultra then. I need S23 Ultra caliber cameras here and here. S23 Ultra caliber display, OLED panel quality. Then you build like a device that can make the Z Flip appeal to those people who you're trying to capture with the Z Fold. Not everyone wants the tablet foldable experience. Some people just want a phone foldable experience. It's part of the reason why the Pixel Fold has a slightly better experience than the Z Fold. Controversially, arguably, true. I'm super excited about the Z Flip 5. This is my favorite form factor of all of the foldables because it's just nice, compact, and easy to use. But my drawbacks are in the hardware and the lack of oomph that they pack into these, because I was dedicated to the Z Flip 4. I was all in. It wasn't dedicated to me. She was all out. But you know, there are gonna come those areas where it's like, man, just wanna, yeah, like this tall, slender inner panel ratio versus it being a little bit wider and more traditional. I get why it's like this. They're trying to make it tiny, itsy bitsy, but no, I want this to be mean and powerful too. Okay, widen that screen up so the aspect ratio gets a little better. Give me some cameras that I could be proud of. A camera app that can process photos and video that I'm proud of. Hey, but you can have the Z Flip Ultra, Samsung, go. Nevertheless, review coming soon. Those are my thoughts.
It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those eyes. Got up and I beat those eyes. It's understood. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. And now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part. Wake up and I do my job. Just how I should. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those eyes. Got up and I beat those eyes. That's understood. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. And now I'm